Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel Mouki Duniya. My name is Mouki and today I'm gonna share with you my tips and tricks for a no-spend January. So everything I've learned and tried in January. So if you don't know what a no-spend January or no-spend month or no-spend year is, it's a challenge that during this period of time you don't spend on anything that's superfluous. You don't go out to eat, you don't buy takeout, I'm guilty of that. You don't buy more books, guilty. You don't go out to the movies, you only spend on utilities. So the house, the mortgage or the rent, anything to feed you or your pet, anything regarding your health, that is all you spend your money on. I'm gonna share the perks that I've discovered during this month. I knew that I had a bad relationship with money. I think it's quite common, especially for young adults in this economy, in this inflation time. And I knew that I had to cut my losses because I want to save money for my future house, for my future self. And I decided to cut out anything that gave me guilt and financial stress. I didn't want to have another month where I was gonna look at my credit card bill and feel regret. So the first perk I noticed was that I didn't have this financial stress, this financial guilt anymore regarding my superfluous spending habits. Second, I had much more mental space. I've spent hours and days and evenings on scrolling through Instagram, going on the IKEA website, going on Etsy, eBay, etc. and just looking at what I needed, creating needs. So I suddenly had much more space for creativity and focus on my work, focus on save money and increasing my revenue. Third, it allowed me to invest more money in what was essential. For example, I could invest in more quality food and it allowed me to save money. I still haven't done my budget review for this month, but I believe that I saved more money than during the 3 last months of 2023. And finally, it allowed me to put my best foot forward regarding emergencies. I didn't have the financial guilt. I didn't have the financial stress in case of my dog's emergencies. We had to go to the emergency vet twice this month. I could allow myself this kind of spending because I didn't have to spend my money elsewhere on books, on takeout, etc. So if you want these benefits, if you want to save more money, if you want to experiment with this challenge, whatever your reason, I'm gonna give you my 5 tips and tricks that I learned and applied during this month of no spend January. So the first thing I did was delete everything that will distract me. Delete all the distractions, so the apps towards Etsy, Amazon, eBay, IKEA, etc. Delete every newsletter, delete your subscribing services regarding, for example, streaming. I deleted Crunchyroll and Disney Plus. And especially warn your family and friends. If you have a family, if you take care of a family, you can do this challenge as a family. Challenge your children, challenge your spouse. If you want to hang out with your friends, you can warn them. I'm on a no spend month. I'm on a no spend year. So if you want to see me, we can't go to the restaurant, we can go brunch, we can't go shopping or whatever, but we can organize this this and that activity. That's what I did with my university friends. I said we can't go to the restaurant because I'm on a no spend. I have a tight budget, and we organized a supper. It was very, very fun. It was great, and it wasn't expensive at all. If you have closed ones that keep you accountable and don't trigger you, don't tempt you, that's all for the better. My second tip, do some cleaning. Do an inventory of what you have. See what you have in your pantry, in your fridge, so that you know what to use, and you can sort through your clothes, your books, your fabric if you are sewing friends, your makeup, your shoes, etc. And you can donate some or sell some. So if you want to save and gain more money, you can by selling some of your stuff. Of course, without being tempted to go on marketplace and such. You want other people to spend money, not you. My third tip is to have a budget, or at least track your spending, so to know what comes into your bank account and what comes out of your bank account. You just have to have pen, paper, Google Sheets, an Excel sheet, whatever you use. It's an habit that I have had developed for quite some years on and off, but it allows you to see which categories in your utilities you spend the most on. I noticed that I was spending way too much on Wi-Fi. I was with the biggest, most expensive company in my province, so I just switched. I quit it for a company that is younger, less expensive, and has more benefits. My fourth tip is to be creative with what you have, to copycat your favorite meals in restaurants, and to improvise, to freestyle recipes, so that way you will use what you have and it will cost you less in the long run. You will spoil less food. You can also use your scraps of fabric to create new garments. That's one thing I want to do this year. You can create a book jar. If you have too many books to read, I think that's a great way to pick out which books you are gonna read in 1 month, in 2 months. So it will give you some surprises, maybe make you discover your new favorite book without the pressure to choose. If you're not a big reader, you can find free content on YouTube, on other websites that offer free entertainment. You can go to your local library. You can go to free events if they're organized in your city, etc. Or you can go for a walk. You can spend time with friends. You can spend time with family. You can also focus on work. You can focus on your relationships. You can focus on yourself. It's really a great time to spend quality time with yourself and your loved ones. Speaking of which, my fifth and final tip is to reward yourself. So to be frugal, to have a no spend month or year can seem a bit narrow-minded, it can seem a bit severe, it can seem a bit military, soldier-like, but it's really not. It's more about what we already have, how to slow down, how to spend less, to focus more. It's how to seek entertainment outside of making more money, to spend more money, not always hit the mall and not always spend on futile things to feel something, you know what I mean? Especially after months of consumerism like November and December, like you have Black Friday, you have Cyber Monday, you have Christmas, events where you have to spend a lot of money on gifts and food and whatever else. You don't have to, but you're pushed to gently. So to focus on other things than spending money, it can be really rewarding. For example, you can spend time with friends, go for a walk with your pet, play free games, or organizing a game night with boarding games that you haven't seen in months and ages. You can just have a nice relaxing evening to yourself, draw yourself a bath and read in your bath. Bake. It's so fun to bake cookies and muffins and cupcakes and cakes. It's so soft, and there's nothing better than fresh baked goods made by yourself. It's so good. All of that can be a reward in and of itself without searching for the next hit. Maybe there are other perks, maybe there are downsides to this. If you have any, please comment down below. If you have never tried this challenge and you want to share your reason to have a no spend month, a no spend trimester, semester, etc., you can leave a comment down below. If you want to see how my no spend January went, you can find my vlog on my Patreon if you want to, if you have the means to. You can tip me on Ko-fi, you can follow me on Facebook, on Instagram. You can do all of these things. You can write to me at mouki.info@gmail.com. Otherwise, we will see each other very soon in another video. On this, my name is Mouki, and namaste.